Hello, welcome to Cooking with Benedicta in Tastebudzng Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to prepare Nigerian Ogbono soup, the original recipe. Remember we said here in Tastebudzng NG there is no tweaking, zero tolerance for tweaking. What we give to you are only the original recipes. I will be showing you all the ingredients we're going to be using in the preparation of our Ogbono soup. You can see I had here my already washed stockfish. I had here my cooked beef. I had here my pomo, which is also cow skin, and I have here my shaki, also known as stripe. I also have my cow intestine, also known as roundabout, washed and cooked, and I have here my delicious goat meat with skin on. I love goat meat with skin on. I don't know about you guys, but eating goat meat without a skin on can be so boring. I also have here my stockfish head already washed and ready to be used. I also have here my favorite dried fish, which is known as the acid dried fish. So now I'm going to show you my African giant snails already washed. I love giant snails. They are so delicious and extremely nutritious. But they come pricey. They are quite pricey, you know. It's not that cheap. So it's not every time you want to have it in your meal that you can afford it. Here I have my beef stock that I got from boiling my beef. So I'm going to add this to the pot. And then I'm going to put some bit of blended Scotch bonnet pepper. Remember, it is optional. You can choose to use just the dried chili pepper option or the Cameroon pepper. But I always love to put 3 different types of chilies in my pot of soup. It adds a distinct flavor to the taste of the soup. When you combine the 3 different types of chili peppers, you have an amazing bowl of soup. So I'm also going to be adding my blended crayfish. Remember, this is what makes your soup extremely delicious. You want to be very generous with your crayfish. Then add a pinch of salt and some bouillon cubes. Remember, you already have salt and seasoning in your beef stock, so you have to take it easy on the salt. Now, my secret spice, the udah sticks. This is my secret spice. I never fail to add this into my pot of Ogbono soup. But remember, it is optional. You might choose to add this in your Ogbono soup and you might choose to omit this part, okay? But if you do, you'll thank me later. Remember, all you have to do is just break it up and then throw it into your pot of soup. And when you're done cooking, you can always take it out. That time, the udah seeds would have given off its essence. Now I'm going to show you my blended Ogbono seeds and my red organic palm oil. When we're done steaming all our meat, fish, and everything on the gas stop, I'm going to show you how to make your Ogbono paste using just your red palm oil. So here we have our pot of Ogbono soup on the gas stop. And we want everything to cook properly, the snails to be softened. We want the udah sticks to give off its essence. And we want our stockfish, meat, and everything to be incorporated into the broth of the soup. So there is going to be some sort of flavor exchange going on there. So we're going to give it about 20 minutes for everything to be properly incorporated. And then we're going to discard the udah sticks at the end of the cooking. You can also choose to leave your udah stick in your pot of Ogbono for as long as you have the soup in your refrigerator. The choice is yours. There is no harm in actually leaving your udah sticks in your pot of Ogbono soup at the end of the cooking and throughout the period you have the Ogbono soup in your refrigerator. Now, I'm going to show you how to make a slurry out of your Ogbono seeds, your blended Ogbono seeds, and your red organic palm oil. This is my organic red palm oil. I'm going to pour about 50 to 70 ml into my wok, and I'm going to heat it on the gas stop for about 40 to 50 until it gets to about 40 to 50 degrees centigrade. But before we get over to the gas stop, I'd like to let you know that you can choose to pour any amount of palm oil you would like to have in your soup, because the quantity of palm oil you'll be using will be determined by the amount of Ogbono seeds you're going to be cooking. That is the amount of blended Ogbono seeds you're going to be cooking. For example, today I am making 3 liters worth of Ogbono soup. If you are making 5 liters worth of Ogbono soup or 10 liters or more, the palm oil should be equivalent to the amount of blended Ogbono seeds that you will be preparing. So I'm going to take this over to the gas stop and I'm going to heat it for about 1 to 2 minutes. I am using an industrial burner, so it depends on the intensity of the heat of your gas stop. Mine is quite on the high side, so I'm just going to heat this up for about a minute or two. You can see that the viscosity of the palm oil is lightening. So let's go over to the gas stop and see how our boiling pot is doing. We want to be sure that there is a certain level of reduction in the water level. This will indicate that our meat, fish, and everything in the pot has been properly cooked. But you want to be very sure about this, so you're going to bring out your snail. I want to ensure that my snail is cooked, but at the same time, I would like to know that it is still crunchy. I love my African giant snails crunchy. So I'm just going to bring one out of the pot and I'll put it on my cutting board and cut it up with a knife and taste it to ensure that it is cooked, but at the same time, it is still crunchy. But that is optional. Some people like the snails extremely soft. I like mine a bit crunchy. How do you like yours? So let's find out how soft my snails are right now. I'm just going to take it over to the wooden top and see how soft it is. But just before we do that, you would like to taste for salt, pepper, crayfish, and all the other ingredients in your pot of Ogbono soup, because at this point your meal is almost ready. So I think mine needs a bit more pepper, so I'm just going to put in some extra chili pepper. You can put the dry pepper, Cameroon pepper, or the blended red Scotch bonnet pepper. It doesn't really matter. What matters is you get your spice level to be the exact way that you want it to be. So now I'm going to go over to the cutting board with my snail and I'm going to cut it up a bit and taste for crunchiness, because I love my snails crunchy. I don't know how you like yours, but I like mine crunchy. This is perfect. I like it. And then I'm going to pour in some more water. This will enable our Ogbono paste to mix properly in the pot of soup. You cannot have your Ogbono paste in a dried pot of Ogbono soup, because the paste will need some water to mix properly. So that is why we had to pour in some tap water. And now we're going to be incorporating our Ogbono paste into our pot of soup. Guys, this is ready. Honestly, the soup is ready. It's going to be ready in like 45 minutes because it's going to take about 3 minutes for it to thicken. And once it's thick or you have gotten the consistency that you like, you can now add a bit of utazi leaves, that is if you want. But remember, before we get to that part, I just want to tell you guys something. When you see a pot of ogbono soup or a bowl of ogbono soup with palm oil floating on the surface, then know that that person or whoever the chef is that prepared that pot of ogbono got the recipe wrong. You must never, ever, ever have palm oil floating on the surface of your ogbono soup. If you have palm oil floating on the surface of your ogbono soup, then you have to check out my recipe, because this is the authentic recipe of our Nigerian ogbono soup. Which kind soup? Mama Kuko ogbono soup, eh? So at this point, we're going to be introducing our chopped Uziza leaves into our already cooked pot of ogbono soup. Remember, this part is optional. You do not have to add Uziza leaves if you don't like it, but I love the aroma of Uziza leaf and I love the combination in my ogbono soup. So that's about it, guys. Thank you for watching. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to our channel. Bye-bye.